Hi guys, Queen of Flannel here. Welcome back to the channel. So, dinner is in the crock pot today. I am between chores right now. Laundry is in the machine. I had a few moments, so I thought I would sit down and do a little mini haul video for you guys. So let me just preface this with this is not all from October. If it was, I would be in trouble because we're only 5 days into this month. Some of this I picked up throughout the month of September, and I wasn't sure I was even gonna do a haul video, but I feel like I have a decent amount of things that I have acquired to kind of, just chat about real quick for you guys. So, let's start with these, the distress crayons. So, um, these are the last colors that I need to complete my distress crayons set. So I have already swatched these, and yes, I do have picket fence, but it's white, so obviously you're not going to be able to see it. But I have the entire collection of the crayons. I honestly probably didn't really need to buy them as quickly as I did, but I'm a completist, and so I had to have the rest of them, and I've only used one of them. I used one from one of the other sets to do an ocean in the front of one of my Kirby Roseanne's books. So I need to plan a project for these. But they generally come in packs of 6. This was one set, and it is shaded lilac, spun sugar, cracked pistachio, dried marigold, tumbled glass, and frayed burlap. These I believe are 3 of the newer colors, newest colors. So this one came in a pack of 3. Rustic Wilderness, Crackling Campfire, and Speckled Egg. And then there was this little guy over here, which I was kind of confused about. This is Bundled Sage, and I had to buy this one open stock as a solo crayon. He was not included in any of the sets. And this is an older color, so I'm not quite sure like what the logic behind that was. If they just, you know, I don't know if they just had an odd number when they started bundling the sets together and this wasn't like a popular color or what. But anyway, so this little guy was solo. And I got these off of the Ranger website. Some of them I got off of Amazon, but these I had a hard time finding on Amazon. So I got these off of Ranger. They were having a little bit of a sale and they were a better price. So I've already swatched these. They're similar to the from what I've seen. I don't have the Neo Color 2s. But from what I've seen, they're similar in application. When I used the other one to paint in my Kirby book, I took it and scribbled on my clear plastic palette and then used my water brush and then painted in my book. But yeah, so that completes my distress crayon collection. So put these over here. And since we're talking about painting with water brushes, I'll go ahead and talk about the water brushes next. I have the original, I guess that's what you call them, the non-push button Derwent brushes. I have the Zig Kuretake brushes. I have a cheap set of water brushes. I really like my Derwent brushes, and I accidentally ruined one of them by putting the wrong cap on top of it, and it permanently like bent the the pen. So I was like, wow, that's unfortunate. So I've seen a bunch of people that have been using these. I think they're both relatively new releases. These are Arteza and these are Derwent. And so I snagged a set of each. I have used the Derwents because I think one of these has water in it. Yes. So I have used the Derwent brushes in possibly one of the Artezas. So I really like these. They're, they're comfortable. And that's, something I have small hands. And so I have a hard time finding things that feel comfortable in, you know, in my hands. The button is really easy to, to activate. I will caution you to be careful with the button because it is quite sensitive from what I've found. So don't push it over top of your project. Use like a rag or a scrap piece of paper towel. Like I barely touch this and the brush is wet. So that's something to keep in mind. I did notice some pooling, but they're really good quality other than just, being mindful of how much water is in your brush, which you should do anyways. They're really nice, comfortable to use. I tend to just stick to the pointed round tip. Well, these aren't really round. I tend to just stick with these. I very rarely use the flatter brushes, but they do come in kind of all over the place here. Let's just take a look at the Derwents real quick. So I'm just gonna take the caps off of these so we can look at them. So this is the smallest tip in the set, the finest point. These do not have numbers on them like the other Derwent set does. Then this would be the middle size. And this one actually is not quite as pointed at the end, so this would probably be, these actually are about the same, look about the same size. The only difference is this one, unless maybe it's because I haven't used it yet and they're a little like stiff out of the package. So these two are pretty similar in size. And then of course you've got the I don't even know what you would call this, flat brush. So 4 sizes in this set. And then the Arteza's similar setup. I'm just gonna take all of the caps off here. And I've used this one, but again, your small, your medium, in your large round tips, and then this set comes with 3 different sizes of the flat brush. Same thing, I've noticed, just be careful with the push button on this because it does release quite a bit of water at one go. But I like them so far. I think they'll serve me well, and they will definitely be in my list of things that get packed with me when I'm working out of the country next year. So get the caps out of here. So next, let's talk about the watercolors. Alright, I'm gonna talk about this one first. Because I should have known, I should have anticipated this based on the reviews. Sure enough. This is a watercolor pan set from SeamiArt. So The colors are really nice. They're very translucent, which is what you would expect from a watercolor, and I am definitely not a watercolor expert, so I can't tell you anything about whether or not they're close to artist grade. I would imagine for the price they are closer to a student grade. I like the little tin. You can swap these around if you have more than one set and build your own of colors that you commonly use. So I've already swatched these, and I can tell you right now, these are not in the case. They are not in order of the swatch chart. And I hit a point where I was frustrated. I looked online to try and find a correct like order, and that was the common thing that people had said with these paints is they don't come labeled. So there's no numbers on them, there's no color name on them, and there's no guarantee that they are in the tin in the order of the swatch chart. So some of these are definitely not matched up where they should be. So what I ended up just doing was completely disregarding the color names and just putting them in there in an order and swatching them in the order that I set them up in the tin. And I can look at this and say, okay, yeah, this is the color I want for this. It doesn't matter what the color name is. But if that's a big thing for you in terms of like organization, this might not be the paint set for you. But this is the SeamiArt. I believe this is the ocean tones. I'll pop that on the screen. It was on the box, but I've since gotten rid of the box, but I'll pop that on the screen when I edit it so that you know exactly what the set is called. I went a little crazy with watercolors this month. The next one, and these next 4 sets are all from Art Philosophy, Prima. I think they're the same. I'm actually not sure now. So this says Art Philosophy. It came up when I searched for the Prima palettes because I was looking for the confections, I think they call them. But this is just a real basic, just basic colors. I I attempted to swatch this and I ended up messing something up. So it does come with its own little swatch thing, but I plan to go in and make my own. I so I have played with them a little bit. Again, nice paints. They seem to lay down pretty easily. So yeah, just some basic watercolor paints. They weren't super expensive. I think I paid like 20 bucks for it on Amazon. And I figured it would be a good, starter kit for watercoloring because I would like to learn how to watercolor a little bit better. So we've got the Art Philosophy Watercolor Confetti Set, 24 colors. And then next we have, this is from Prima Art. See, I like they put the set name on the front of the tins on this and a little like little thing that shows you what's in it because I got rid of the boxes. But again, little metal tin, pop it open. I've already swatched these. So again, I am not a watercolor aficionado, but these seem to be, and it might just be, the amount of water that I applied just to do my swatch chart. These seem to be a lot more opaque, a lot more pigmented, I guess, than the SeamiArts. And I must have gotten distracted when I was doing this because I messed these up. So I mean, at the time I didn't realize that I had made the mistake because lemonade, you think of of yellow. That was the first thing that jumped off my head, and then I got down to the yellow and I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. What, you know, the yellow is actually Bumblebee, and the lemonade is this pink lemonade in this set. But super pretty colors. I am really looking forward to busting these out and finding a project for them. Prima Art's Pastel Dreams watercolor set. And the next one is also a Prima Arts. This is the Vintage Pastels set. So some super muted colors in here. But again, some of these, the charcoal, the black paint in here, super, super pigmented. I'm actually contemplating, I'm working on trying to plan out a project for later on in the month. And I'm thinking this one might get used. I kind of want to see how this does with like a background, because it's pretty dark. So, Vintage Pastel set up the same way. I actually went through this one and marked on the inside of the container which color they were in case they popped out. But these, the nice thing is they have the number on the, let me take one of these out. There we go. So these have the number that corresponds to the swatch chart on the side of them. I don't know if these are available like open stock yet. I heard a rumor that they were supposed to be releasing these little half pans so that you could buy them individually and not have to buy the whole set if, for instance, you use up all of your charcoal and you still have all of these colors left. Last time I was on the website, I did not see any individual half pans for these. So Prima Arts Vintage Pastels. Again, this one came from Amazon. Yeah. And the last watercolor set, this one I'm super excited about. This, another Prima Arts. This is the Decadent Pies set. More watercolors, same pan. I actually was playing around with this in one of my books. That's the key lime color. So I don't know if you guys can see, and it's not the entire set. But these first three colors, this one you're definitely not going to be able to see because it is white. If I hold it down here, there we go, a little better, are super, super shimmery. This one over here, this white mocha, I've got to do some tests with this because I'm thinking this would be really nice applied over top of white pencil, I'm thinking this will be really nice for snow when we start getting into that season, just giving, you know, snow in your pictures some shimmer. So it's these three colors right here, the white mocha, the Earl Grey, pistachio cream, and the guava meringue that have the glitter in it. And then there's some really, like, these blues are gorgeous, the blackberry and the blueberry. The camera doesn't do these justice, so yeah, I'm pretty excited to actually break into these and use them on a project. Prima Arts Decadent Pies. That's the last one for the watercolors, so let's slide that over here. And since these happen to be sitting here, I'm honestly not sure how or what I'm going to use these for. This is a set of, and these came in this set of 3. I figured I'd grab them. I'll try them out. They're the Distress Oxide sprays. Maybe I can play around and use them for a background. I don't know, but I've been kind of on a Tim Holtz Ranger Arts Distress kick. So, yeah. Snagged these at, I think I got these at Joann's. And since we're talking about the Distress Oxide, I snagged a couple of these. So I picked up, these are the Oxides. I have the full collection of the regular Distress inks. I've been trying to be a little bit more measured with the Oxides because I am not using them as much as I thought I was going to use them. This is, I haven't swatched these yet, but this is where my Oxides collection kind of resides. I want to find a book that these will work well in, or a project for them. The biggest thing that kind of sways me from wanting to use them in my books is, if you're not familiar with the difference between the Distress inks and the Distress ink Oxides, is the Oxides have dye and pigment. So these go down a lot more pigmented, it would be the word. Whereas if you take your regular Distress inks and you apply water to them and you color over something in one of your books, you're going to be able to see the lines still through that ink. These will cover up any of your lines in your books. Especially if you go in really heavy. I did a tiny little test with one of these in the front of one of my books, and it definitely covers up your, like your shading lines or whatnot. So I don't think I would use these in like a Kirby book, because I rely on Kirby's lines when I color in his book, to kind of give me a guide as far as like, my shading and my highlights. I do want to find a use for these though, because they're really pretty colors. So, and again, I'm a completist, so it's like, I feel like I have to have them all, even though realistically I know that I don't. But I picked up 6 more of these. I think I'm just gonna try and like take these a little slower. Some Distress Oxides. Put these back over here and get this out of the way. And last but not least, we've got some pencils. So I'm not sure what's in this box. I am not sure if it's another one of the Caran pencils, because I did order a bunch of these. I haven't looked through to see if which I should, to see if I got everything that I ordered. I kind of like casually glanced at it because I was like, is this a blender pencil? Did they send me an extra blender pencil? What's happening here? So, and it didn't really like say on it what it was. So let's crack open our mystery box here and see what we've got. Oh, okay. So it's the natural russet pencil. I got excited and thought maybe they included like a free gift. Here, we're phasing out the blender sticks, so we're gonna go ahead and send you a free one. Nope, it's the natural russet pencil. I decided, let me take these out of the plastic. I decided against buying these in the set right now. I thought about it. I got my re-enlistment bonus from the military, and I debated between buying the set of the Caran Luminance pencils and ended up buying the next thing that I'll show you guys, because this is a little bit more in budget, and these are very similar to the Derwent Lightfast pencils. So I told myself I'd use the heck out of my Derwent pencils. If I had to choose a brand that I favor, it would definitely be my Derwents. But there are some areas where I felt like the colors were kind of lacking. And I hope down the road maybe they, fill in some of those gaps, especially in the, within the grays. So I had bought some of the Luminance grays, and I really liked the way they performed, and I figured, okay, I'll just get a couple at a time, and I'll start with the pencils that maybe fill in some gaps in my other sets. I use these in tandem with my Derwent my Derwent pencils. So just some Luminance. I got these off of Blick. Have not swatched these yet, but yeah, so some pencils. Now on to the Derwent Paint Pens. So these are, I'm actually super glad that I busted into these and that they came today, because I was working on the Hocus Pocus picture from my coloring tag video that I released yesterday, and I was working on the cat, and I realized none of my paint pens and none of my gel pens had a fine enough tip on them to do like whiskers. And let's see if I can crack this open. So these are, so this is the gray tones set, palette 4. This was the only one that was available on Blick at the time, or else I would have bought the rest of them. It looked like the other sets were on back order until like the end of the month, so I figured, okay, you know what, that's a sign. It's telling me just get the one set, try them out, see if you like them before you commit to buying the other ones. I'm just gonna grab a scrap sheet of paper here, and let me just, do I have to shake this? Shake well, depress for 10 seconds, and wait. All right, so shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your paint pen. Shake your paint pen. All right. How tiny that point is. I don't think that was 10 seconds, but, and then depress and wait. And wait. Do I have to pump this? Oh, there we go. Ooh. Okay, well, that's not quite as fine of a line as I thought it was gonna be. So I might have to go back to the drawing board on that, but I like these. I could see these being good for maybe for grass. Not these colors per se, but I don't know. I'll have to play with these. I'll find a use for them because they're really nice. From what I've just, messed around with on the paper, they feel nice. But they are, that is a lot of ink. A much thicker line than I was anticipating coming out of that point. But yeah, I will definitely have to go ahead and crack the rest of these open and play with them and see if I can find a place for them in my coloring. So, but that is it for my mini supply haul. If there is anything that you would like more information about, you want to see more, apparently I'm not one with the words today. If there's anything that you want to see more about, hear more about, want me to try and use in a project, drop me a comment below and I will see if I can put something together, even if it's just a short little quick video. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed the content, please like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified when I post more, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you.